Hey guys, glad to see you, and I hope that you are staying safe and doing well. And I wish all of you a happy Easter. And I miss seeing you guys very, very much. I've never experienced anything like this, just being confined like we've been. We're going to begin chapter 5 in your book. We're not going to be able to show you the videos, but I just want to mention a few things in chapter 5, and then I'm going to go over the worksheets that you have. Your key terms are on page 99 in your book. Capital, which refers to money or financial assets. Capitalism, that's a system of economics based on private ownership of business, and that is the primary function of our economy. It's a capitalistic system. Chain of production. This is how goods and services move through an economic system, and we're watching that with all the trucks and everything that's going on. They're still active, providing the goods and the services that we need during this time that we live. Economics is the study of how a society manages all of its resources to produce and distribute goods and services. GDP. That's going to take a major league hit during this coronavirus. It's the gross domestic product. It's the total market value of all the goods and services produced by a country during a particular time. Globalization. This is how countries interact with each other in trade and selling and buying goods and services. Interdependence. This is the dependence upon other countries resulting in the trade for goods and services. There are some things, for instance, that the United States produces that nobody else does and that countries buy from us. Vice versa, there are some countries that produce certain items. Let's say, for instance, fruit. A lot of the fruit in our wintertime is going to come from South America, primarily the country of Chile, because they're in their summertime. And so that's an example of interdependence. Rationing, that means we limit or control the amount of goods and services being used. A la toilet paper. If you go into the store, you can get one pack or whatever it is because people have gone nuts during the coronavirus over toilet paper. If you figure out what that is, you let me know. I don't know why that's the case. Scarcity is a condition of limited resources and unlimited wants by the people. Again, that'd be an example of toilet paper. They just absolutely overrun with it, or hand sanitizer, for instance. Socialism, something we never want in this country, is an economic system based on public or collective, which is government ownership of resources and production. Let me say this to you as 7th grade, and you always remember this. Socialism has never worked anywhere in the world, ever. Look at Venezuela right now. So always remember, you do not want socialism. Now, on page 101, there are 4 primary economic systems that are mentioned. Traditional, which are simply based on tradition. They do what's always been done. Grandma, grandpa, mom and dad always did this, and so they do it. It's a very difficult system because it's primarily in third world countries or underdeveloped areas, and they don't have the advancements in technology. They don't have the goods and services that we do in a more advanced society. Market economic system, which is primarily capitalism. It's the private buying and selling of goods, not involved with the government. Then you have a command system, which is basically communism or socialism, where the government owns everything and they regulate the distribution of everything. Again, a system that this country, I hope, will never embrace. We have many that would like to, and it's a disaster economically. A mixed economic system is really what the United States operates on. We're primarily capitalistic, but we do provide some assistance to people, programs, services, education, military, for the benefit of the public, So the government does that, and that's why you have a mix there. That's the socialism part of our economy. It's a very small part, but yet it's there. So those are the four the four economic systems: traditional, command, market, and mixed. Now, if you notice on page 102 and 103, you've got the idea of supply and demand. And that is how prices are affected. The more demand there is for an item, the more the price is going to be for it. The less demand there is, there's going to be a lower price. Easy pick. Gas right now is at its lowest point in probably 30 some odd years because nobody's driving anywhere much, taking any trips. So the demand for oil is really low. And so the supply has been more than enough. The demand is very weak, so the price goes down. When there's high demand and there's limited supply, the price goes up. Now there's a exercise on 104 that I think you guys will enjoy working on. It's called Pizza Time. Let's read those instructions, and I think you'll do well with that. The chain of production is mentioned with the four economic sectors on page 106. Read those. You have primary, you have secondary, tertiary, and quaternary. And this is how everything works, from getting raw materials to finally bringing out the finished product. Those four sectors bring about our chain of production. So read that, be familiar with that, it'll help you. And then on lesson 2 on page 109, there's some exercises there for you to look at. Global connections, some good statistics there for you to think about. Global trade activity. This again has to do with work between other countries, buying and selling of goods. The world in my house, lesson 3, page 115. Something you can do at home and look and see where things come from. Look at your shoes, look at your clothing, look at other food products. They give you the example of bananas and their source, Honduras, which is in Central America. You have a self-test on page 117 that you can work on there. And now, let me go over the worksheets that I've sent home for you to work on in this second packet. The first part is the chapter assessment. It's front and back, 2 pages. But both sides have material for you to answer. Also, you have the economic activity worksheet, which you might want to do first. It's front and back. It's got all the terms that are in this 5th chapter, and you just fill in the blank with the correct term. You can follow your book there, and you should be able to do that without any problem. And then the last couple of sheets are case studies for you to look at, front and back on one page, and then just the front on case study number 3. Read those and then answer those to the best of your ability. Now, if you have any questions about anything on the worksheets or the chapter assessment, just email me on the My Schoolworks. I hope all of you have a great Easter and hope to see you again soon.